Hello people, well it's me again, and today I'm going to cover a theory that is kind of real, kind of important to me, and that is William is not the father or of Michael Afton. And, like my past recent video I really feel, and he has stated that William is not the father of the children, like Effin, Elizabeth, and Michael. Well, I don't not actually believe that theory, but I'm going to put some good coverage to put that.
At the beginning of this theory, I made the observation that a huge number of Fazbear Fright stories have a theme of identities being stolen. At this point, it feels like it appears once in every book. The other massive theme that keeps recurring in these tales are single-parent households. Dads abandoning the family and just straight-up bad dads. Lots and lots of bad fathers. Up through the 8th book, 12 of 24 stories feature a single-parent home. Just to run through some quick examples, in the book Step Closer, there are 2 stories that have a dad up and leave the family. 1:35 a.m. is about a foster child that had an abusive foster dad. The New Kid, another abusive dad who left. The Cliffs is about a single dad losing a son. Breaking Wheel has the character Reed who has a single dad who's, quote, trying his best. And in the short story, What We Found, which is basically just a retelling of FNAF 3, Hudson loses his father when he takes his own life on account of mental illness, only to wind up with Lewis, yet another abusive stepfather. To me, this is not a coincidence. It's the books yet again trying to point our attention to a common theme in the game, that Afton may not be the father that we've assumed he was this entire time. At this point, we're fairly certain that the orange guy from the FNAF 6 minigame Midnight Motorist is Purple Guy, who is also William Afton, and we... that he's far from a caring and compassionate father, banging on doors, yelling at his son, making threats. Shock of all shocks, a guy who moonlights by kidnapping kids and running experiments on their remnant soul juice isn't a father you want to go into the backyard and play catch with. Whoa, who would have saw that one coming? But the fact is, the books seem to be alluding to another layer in this, that he isn't actually Crying Child or Elizabeth's biological father. It would explain why Baby in both the Silver Eyes trilogy and Fazbear Frights feels a cold distance from her dad. Not just that he's lost in his work, but that he's not interested in her outside of what she can do for his experiments. That might be why he actually prefers Henry's daughter to his own. It might also explain Afton's relationship with the Crying Child, how we've suspected for a while that Afton might have been running experiments on him, torturing him with animatronics and supervising him with surveillance cameras from his underground office. Taking it one step further, remember that story of Hudson whose dad took his own life? Well, Henry in both Silver Eyes and FNAF World is shown to take his own life. And Hudson in the Fazbear Fright story is a very clear parallel for Michael Afton. So, could Michael Afton have started as Henry's son, only to wind up as William's stepson? Think back to the Sister Location cartoons.
Clara, the baby isn't fine.
An undying vampire in purple repeatedly saying, he's not my son, in between every night of that game. I mean, it is a big swing when it comes to theories, but I think there's at least some interesting parallels there to consider. Supporting this, we've also yet to see any adult females in the Afton household. Now, I've speculated that Bellora's song is about a wife leaving her husband when he can't escape his own grief, but who knows? That song could be related to Henry's grief at the loss of his daughter Charlie. In the original novels, we're shown that Charlie dies, and that Henry loses his mind with grief, leading him to eventually take his own life. What if the line about an empty tomb isn't William's sadness, but rather a song about Henry's? And that in the aftermath of his death, his kids go to William, his partner. Oh yeah, speaking of Charlie, did you...
So yeah, what you just heard, and that was a clip, explaining that William is not the father. Well, I get some strange problems. One, that my father suggested that Michael is actually Henry's son. Actually Henry's father. Actually Henry's son. But sure is a lot of evidence put this into the Hudson apparel for Michael. So that Hudson, his real father, took his own life. And the only person that ever took his life on the finale series is Henry itself. We heard in the game universe and the novel universe too. But I do not actually believe that Henry is actually the father of, actually the father to Michael. And one, I do actually believe that either Effin and Elizabeth is actually brought out the Williams kids. So I believe that Effin is actually William's son. Like I actually believe that Elizabeth and Effin are actually William's kids. But I do not believe that Michael is actually the son of Williams. Like you go back to Gumdrop Angel, or that angel that obviously represents Michael, and Michael, that angel's father loved the family, and there was another person there, I don't actually know the name, but he is parallel to William. Angel is obviously parallel to Michael. So, could actually be that he that misses that Michael's real biological father is actually love the family. And don't get me wrong, I do actually believe that Mrs. Afton is actually the mother of Michael Gladden and from F and Elizabeth. Yeah. Well, I did not believe that William is not the father to Michael. Because like from the for the Moral of the Wesses, we get a fair part the obviously represents and it's William, and the baby the obviously represents Michael, and that the third part said each episode says he is not my son in A clips. It just gets to show not only that William doesn't care about his older son, but also will show that Michael is not actually not William's William's son. And this might be has explained why William does not like his older son and that much more than his younger son. It's that's because that he's not actually his son at all. And it may explain why William decided to turn his son into a robot to make him look like him, so he feel like that's his son. And that is probably more explain why he tried to also kill him through a scissor casing and where handle it. That's William Hart handle it told stuff that that lead Michael to kill or like go faster into Blue Scary or Fat P Fontaine Foxy a couple of times. And so William orders handle it to leave Michael to go dangerous is that will also let him killed. Instead, in the novels, I do not actually think that William don't actually care about Elizabeth. More likely, like I do believe that William do actually cares about Elizabeth. It does that William focus on too much of his work and probably like his children become robots like F and Elizabeth. But William doesn't want actually physically return them into robots because he still cares about them. And proved by that is how William doesn't want Elizabeth to go to circus baby, proving that he still who cares about her and and Effin. And there's parts about how Michael actually looked like his father or William, but it could have been Spain. And at my last video, how I think that Michael Afton is a robot. I had concluded that William want Michael to look just like his father, and proof by that is by a location in from FNAF 4 or mini games. How later we see Michael's skin's pale, but doing weird layer in night probably night 5 mini games we see him orange. It's proving that skin colors are different. And this is one reason why some people may think that the two Foxy Balls are not the same. But what they are the same, but in a different way. That Michael Martin's skin was whitened because of William who placed his parts with places his organs with robotic pieces. And I just explained that in my last video. Go see that. You never did. So yeah. And also, so that this is my opinion, and that oh, and this also explains why Michael then does not have no rule do it in the FNAF 4 mini games. I heard people say that Michael either do have a room, but in the FNAF 4's gameplay, but that ain't true. Because we don't actually see in the mini games. And so this must explain why Michael either does not have no room, because he was adopted, or at least that Michael and Mrs. Afton moved to another house with William. And also I like to believe that Mrs. Afton remarries with William before that Elizabeth was born. That I would think that Evan was actually years older, or longer, I think, when Michael Afton and Evan became stepbrothers. First, I like to believe due to how they were a relationship. So I like to believe that that Michael Afton is the father. Is the son of somebody else, and then that father first there's Mrs. Afton, but unknown reason, and Mrs. Afton remarries with William. That also know that William also had power with the followers that probably that Evan's real mom probably died or have been divorced by William. And also, and that lead to Mrs. Afton and William got married and have a daughter named Elizabeth. And I also like to believe that maybe that Cassie and Evan are actually siblings. I'm going to explain that later in our episodes. So yeah, I stay tuned by that. In days to watching, that's all I have to be talking about. Well, that was my video about how I think that that William is not the father to Michael. And what you want to hear? Tell me in the comments wherever I want. Tell me in the comments what your opinion. Do you think that William is actually the father or not? Tell me in the comments. Well, I don't have one that's that, but still, just probably the and probably subscribe. I don't actually have that yet, because I still new to this. So yeah, bye guys, bye.